Hey, everybody. Welcome to the resilience of sleep, or sleep resiliency. In today's practice, we're going to spend some time unwinding the nervous system, tapping into some specific areas on the body that can help us down-regulate out of fight, flight, into a comfortable shutdown. And we'll be utilizing some tools and some sound therapy techniques today. So you might want to pause the video right now to go and grab a sandbag or a bag of rice or a heavy blanket. If you have an eye pillow, you're invited to have an eye pillow. And you might want a blanket to wrap around your body. To begin, you're invited to lay down comfortably on the ground, reaching long. You could lay on your back, you could lay on your side. It's entirely up to you. So make yourself nice and comfortable, maybe putting a bolster under your knees or a pillow under your head. And take a few moments here just to gently arrive. Feel each part of your body that makes contact with the floor. The backs of your feet, the backs of your legs, your pelvis, your spine, your shoulders or shoulder blades, or even your arms. Notice the back of your head as it lays on the floor. And take some time here to become even 1% more comfortable. What can you do to become even more comfortable as you lay down? Maybe you need to wiggle a little bit. Maybe you'd like to rock your head from side to side. Yeah, we'll begin to notice our breathing without needing to change it or shift it. Just notice your inhale and your exhale. Every time you exhale, you might begin to notice places in your body that you're holding tension. Every time you exhale, release the tension from your feet. Release the tension from your legs. Release any tension in your hips or your gluteus muscles. On your next slow exhale, release the tension from your belly. Release any tension in your low back, your lumbar spine. On your next slow exhale, releasing tension from your respiratory diaphragm, allowing it to soften. Releasing tension from your shoulders, right shoulder and left shoulder. Exhale and release tension from your arms and your hands. Releasing tension from your jaw and your tongue. Releasing tension at the back of your throat, the back of your neck. Releasing tension from your eyes. Releasing tension from your brow and even the top of your head. Coming back to noticing inhale and exhale. Every time you exhale, repeating to yourself silently the sound hum with your inner voice. So every exhale you hear with your inner voice. Hum. Hum. Bringing your awareness to your inhale. And as you silently repeat hum with your exhale, you silently repeat so on your inhale. Every time you breathe in, your inner voice says so. 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 Now, with every inhale and exhale, silently you hear with your inner voice. So. Hum. So. Hum. So. Hum. Give a few more breaths, repeating silently so hum to yourself and beginning to feel your body melt into the floor. Being with every breath and starting to slow everything down inside. Everything begins to slow down. And here's some tones from a crystal bowl, just meant to soothe your nervous system. Bringing your awareness or your hands to your low belly, the navel area, the pelvic area. We'll repeat the sound O out loud 3 times with your own breath. O. Bringing your awareness or your hands up to the heart center, up to the chest. We'll repeat the sound 3 times. Taking a breath here. When you are ready, bringing your hands on either side of your throat for just your awareness, and we'll take 3 deep breaths with an sound on the exhale. You might wish here to wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you're laying down, you might reach your hands above your head, stretch your feet long on the floor, feel that nice little arch to your back. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down by your side and slowly bend your knees and bring your feet onto the floor. Now you can do this laying down if you've already been on your back. You can do this seated if you've been seated with me this whole time, and I'll stay seated. So when you come into lungs, spine, but feet on the floor and the knees bent, give your body a little shake or a little jiggle just to notice where you might be feeling kind of tight and compressed, or where you might be feeling really jiggly and open and connected. And then you might rock your pelvis a little bit, maybe in circles or side to side, just exploring the lumbar spine and the low back, maybe letting your head move. And then we're going to do a green light reflex. So you'll begin to tilt your pelvis outward, sticking your tail outward, rolling your shoulders back, maybe spinning your hands away, and gently arching the spine. Your chin might come down, and don't overdo this. Nothing should hurt. Take a few breaths right here. Nice and slow, begin to dissolve this out of your back, out of your spine, coming back into a neutral spine, nice and slow. You're melting all of that work out of your back. Rest in neutral for just a moment, giving yourself some time to let go and enjoying the sound. As the sound slowly dissipates, as done any leftover or residual tension in your spine, in your back, in your legs, or your jaw. Slowly begin to roll inward into the red light reflex, where we tuck the tail under, roll the arms in, squeeze into the front line of the body. If you're seated, your head might come down. If you're laying down, your head might go back, but feel all of the work happening in the front line of your body to collapse and protect. Take a few breaths here. And then along with the sound of the bowl, begin to release the tension along the front line of the body, a slow dissipation. And As the sound dissolves, so does all of that work. The spine extends. It might even feel like it's inflating. Hands unroll. Body comes back into neutral. Slow breaths. Noticing that it might take a little while longer than you thought to let go of the tension. When you're ready, even if you're seated, you might place both feet on the floor. If you're laying down, you might take your feet a little wider and rock your knees from side to side, maybe even letting your head and your shoulders rock, rinsing that out. Rinsing out any tension or stress from your day. Letting it dissolve. When you are ready, if you're laying down, roll over onto one side, laying on your side, and then very slowly coming up into seated, nice and slow. When you find your way into seated, you might wiggle a little bit, or you might open your eyes, and for the next 30 seconds or so, with the sound of the bowl, just let your eyes begin to float around the room as though you're following a butterfly. Noticing when your breathing starts to change and you start to feel very, very relaxed or a little more present or centered. Coming back into neutral, bringing your gaze in front of you, and then tipping forward and rolling your spine around, releasing any tension or stress around your back, rolling your spine around, going one way, going the other way. And then doing some figure eights. Can you make some figure eight movements? And then change the figure eight movements, go the other way around. After you've made that movement for a little while, bring your shoulders, roll your shoulders around, going one way, going the other way, and moving your shoulders in any way that feels good for you, maybe circles in the same direction or opposite directions. Just releasing tension around the shoulders. Maybe tipping from side to side, giving a little squeeze and release on the sides of your body. And then coming back up into neutral, noticing if anything has changed. Allow your chin to float down, extending the back of the neck, maybe compressing a little bit on the thyroid parathyroid gland, and we'll do one hum here, an sound right here. And then roll your head slowly from side to side, perhaps even continuing that M or humming sound. When your head comes back into center, bring your fingertips to your forehead and push your head all the way up. When you've pushed your head up, take your fingers into the center of your forehead, just like this. Imagine there's a little dotted line right there. Press your fingertips in and pull your forehead open. Pull your fingers across your forehead to your temples and then give your temples a rub. One way and then the other way. As you're doing this, make some releasing breaths out of your mouth. Making a little sound as you do so. Oh. When you've released some tension around your temples, push your fingers back into the center of your forehead. Do that again, push in, pull out, come to your temples, this time a little bit lower down into the jaw, below the cheekbones, and very carefully, little gentle circles here around the TMJ. And if you wanted, a few releasing breaths. It might even feel good here to even take your fingertips with a little rolling motion from your TMJ to your mouth. And then pushing your fingers past your temples back to the center of the forehead again. Draw your fingertips out and down to your temples, down to that jawbone, and then this time all the way underneath, and give little circle massages under your jawbone all the way to your chin. Just massaging here. And then when you're ready, take your fingertips, drag down the throat a few times, dragging down your throat. Push your fingers back up the sides of your head, past your temples to the center of the forehead again. I'll come a little bit closer to the screen because we're going to be taking our fingertips from the center of the forehead, and you bring your hands down right past the middle of the eyebrow. And then you take your two fingers like this and you draw figure eights around your eyes. Now, some of us will like to press in with our fingertips and massage. Some of you might just like to draw the tiniest little lightest motion. But you're drawing a big figure eight around your eyes, and you'll let your head kind of turn along with this. Releasing some sound out of your mouth as you do this. You might change direction and go the other way. The next time your fingers come into the center of the eyebrows, push up to the center of the forehead. Big figure eights on the forehead. Big breaths here. Change direction of those figure eights. Draw, trace, massage the other direction. And when you're ready, just release that down. Let your hand come to rest. Take a moment to turn inward, noticing how you're feeling here and taking a breath. Letting your hands rest, letting your shoulders rest, and breathing along with the sound of the bowl. Slow everything down. We're going to take our hands again. We're going to rub the hands together. We're going to take our hands and place them on our back. Right at the level of the kidneys, kind of the upper back, the kidneys and the adrenal glands, right here. So with warm hands, take your warm hands, cover your low back up a little bit higher at the base of the rib cage. We're going to make a hum sound saying H-U-M, really elongated a few times. the kidneys and soothing the adrenal glands. Slide your hands down, maybe interlace your fingers and draw big figure eights on your low back, massaging your low back in this radiant energy meridian points. Big circles here. And then going the other way. Those big figure eight patterns again on the low back. This radiant energy point is considered a meridian without a specific pathway. It's energy that just flows where it's needed in the body. It's very present when we are children, and it becomes stagnant and compressed when we're adults. So take your hands, the backs of your hands, and sweep around the low back with a little flick and free up this radiant energy pathway in your body. So the energy can go wherever you need. Smoothing that out. Give your hand a little shake. You can see I'm shaking my hands. Get rid of any stagnant dust, adult cobwebs in there. Let them go. And when you've freed up that meridian, take a moment here now to take some more circles, but try to move from that meridian point, from that low back area. Take some circles here. Before we were working mainly around the hips and the spine, try to lift it up a little bit higher so that you're actually moving from that meridian area, loosening up the lumbar spine and across the front whole of the diaphragm. Really let that area go. Move in any way that feels good for you. So we're beginning to tap into some areas that might keep us sustained in a fight-flight pattern. Been toning the vagus nerve in order to have a good sleep. So what we're going to do is move up the body through the vagal pathway, and it's specifically the vagus pathway that connects the heart to the eyes. So you take one hand on your heart space like this, roughly where your beating heart is. You don't have to be too particular about it. And then you take another hand and you just cover one of your eyes. When you've made this connection, take a few breaths here, just noticing how this feels, and then roll inward. Take a little roll inward, kind of compressing the heart and holding the eye. And a couple of breaths. And then rolling back up. Feeling this connection between the beating heart and the eye. As humans, we have a unique and new pathway in our vagus nerve, which connects the heart structure to the eye structure. Roll in again. So what we see affects the heart, and how our heart might be feeling affects how we see the world. Few breaths right here, compressed inward only. Don't let anything hurt. And then slowly come up. When you're ready, remove the hand over the heart and the eye at the same. Rest here. Few breaths, noticing what might be feeling different. The eye that you held, let your whole body melt to that side. So if it was your left eye, you'll melt to the left. If it's your right eye, you'll melt to the right. And just roll over, the sound of the bowl toning, taking a few breaths right here. Slowly roll your way up. Pardon me. Place your other hand over the heart. Take your hand over the other eye. Gentle pressing in. The vagus nerve is behind the eye in this pathway. And you might think about the times that you rub your eyes or rest your eyes. Same idea, just gentle pressure, but connect the fingers of the heart to the fingers over the eye. Let these connect. And then slowly roll inward towards the heart, almost as though you're bringing the eye closer towards the heart. When you roll forward, take a few breaths right here. slowly roll up. You come all the way up, take a moment here to just stay with your breath, however it's showing up. And then with the sound of the bowl, we'll roll down again, connecting the heart and the eye, imagining you're bringing them closer together and allowing them to rest. Slowly coming all the way back up, feeling an extension now between the heart and the eye, feeling some length and some space. And then taking your finger off of your eye, your fingers off of your heart, and just taking a few breaths here. Begin to let your body roll to that side, almost as you're melting inward to the eye that you just held. Roll to the side. Take a couple of breaths. You're melting like a candle. Gently bring yourself all the way back up. Taking a few breaths right here, letting everything slow down. We'll do another technique with fingertips and eyes, and this time the ear. And we're going to be soothing the amygdala, which is a part of our neural structure that is always scanning and assessing. Every 30 seconds, it scans the room, and that's in a regulated nervous system. Oftentimes, for people who are waking up in the middle of the night with a lot of activity in their body, it's possible that their amygdala is scanning and sensing danger simply because we've been immobilized. And sometimes there's a part of the body that says, why are you lying down? There's so much to do. And we wake up, think really busy in the mind. So our amygdala is not a single structure. It's two little almond-shaped structures, small almonds laying on their sides behind the eyes and inside from the ears. So they're directly related to our sense organs and our face. And what we're going to do in this practice, and you'll watch me do it first before you try to do it, just because it'll be hard to try to follow me at the same time and the cues. But we're going to kind of sense where the amygdala might be, and we're going to hum, imagining that we're vibrating that little almond laying on its side. Now, in your mind, if you're a visual thinker, you might think of what a little almond might look like laying on its side. And is it a brown almond, or does it have another color? What's kind of an automatic thing that comes up for you? For me, it's always like a little light blue color or something. You know, give it a color, go into a little bit more right brain. This part's going to really start to soothe the nervous system if we're in a lot of left brain dominant thought patterns. So let yourself imagine what color the amygdala is, that little almond laying on its side, about what size it is. Start to invite another piece of you to come into this to regulate and rest. So to locate roughly the amygdala, what we're going to do is see this little flap on the ears right here. Some of you might have a piercing, a tragus piercing. The vagus nerve runs right through the tragus. This is why sometimes people get this pierced if they get migraines, and it helps them with migraines. And so tragus vagus, it kind of goes together as a way to remember that. And if it's possible, and you don't have to do it this way, but if it's possible, you fold this in to kind of plug the ear. Now, if that doesn't feel comfortable, you might even place your finger in your ear. And then we're going to just close the eye and take two fingers and just gently press on the eye. Or you could even go like this if this helps you locate, because what we're going to do is press the tragus in, connect to the eye, and then imagine where our fingers would intersect in our brain, inside of our head. And roughly right in that space is where your amygdala is going to be. So if there was a little line that came out of my fingers and a little line that came out of these fingers, you could do that now, folding the tragus in, pressing your fingers into your eyes, sitting up straight, And where would they meet, intersect roughly in your head? The line from the fingers in your ear, the line from the fingers on your eyes. Don't let anything hurt. Don't press too hard. And then imagine that little space where these two lines would meet with that little sideways almond is, and we're going to hum and vibrate that little almond, that little amygdala. One more time. Nice and slow. Remove your fingers. Rest here for a breath. And I'll play another tone on a different bowl this time. You might open your eyes and look around you. Butterfly eyes again, letting your head and your neck turn. Noticing when your breathing might change, when you just start to feel a little more relaxed. That's another soothing motion for the amygdala too, is butterfly eyes, letting your eyes just follow an imaginary butterfly around. Come back and notice, how do you feel on the side, the amygdala side that you kind of soothed versus the side that you didn't? Is anything different? You might even tip your head from side to side or rock your head from side to side. That's a nice way to notice if you've created more downregulation in your system. If your head is moving easier on that side now, maybe there was a very thin thread of hypervigilance in your neck. And now let's go to the other side. So again, what color is that amygdala? Imagine that little almond laying on its side. What does it look like? You take your fingers and maybe either plug the ear or fold the tragus in. And then you'll take the other fingers and just gentle pressure on that eye. We're just putting a little gentle push on the vagus nerve as it runs behind the eye. Imagine where your fingers would connect inside of your brain, inside of your head. There's a little space between the eyes higher than the ear. And right there, imagine that little sideways almond, and we'll hum 2 times. When you're ready, gently release your fingers. Bring your hands down to rest and take just a big scoop of nothing right here. Noticing how you're feeling in that eye and that ear. Maybe even wobbling your head from side to side, turning your head like a big no. Does anything feel different? And then maybe some very gentle, slow butterfly eyes around your room, the space that you're in. Bringing your fingers to your tragus now, and you're going to take that little fold of ears right here and give a little massage and mobilize the tragus. Notice that this little piece of cartilage actually has some mobility to it. It actually likes to move around. So move it around. And as you're moving it around, take some breaths in your nose and out your mouth, releasing anything that inhibits you from having a good sleep. Let go of work. Let go of the news. Let go of anything you can't do anything about. When you've massaged your tragus, Pull your earlobes a few times. Pull your ears all the way up to the top Ganesha ears. Pull your ears open. Big breath here. Letting go of any words that you're holding in your ears. We're going to bring our hand to the base of the skull, to the brainstem, and then another hand to the forehead. And we'll take a couple of breaths right here, noticing how we're beginning to feel in the nose and out the mouth if you like. Gently, gently press your hands together, pressing the palms as though they're gently trying to touch. Give a little press to the head, and then slowly release your hands. Take your hands to the sides of your heads, gently interlace your fingers, push on the sides of your heads very gently. 3 breaths in the nose, out the mouth. And then with your fingertips in your head, just like we did with the forehead, press your fingertips in, open your skull up, drag your fingers down to your ears, little massage around the ears. So just like that, a few more times, pressing your fingertips in. This is called crown flush, opening the crown of the skull, massaging around the ears, letting go of any thoughts that might be inhibiting you from being able to fall asleep or have a good sleep. Open the crown of the head, let go of those thoughts, and open the crown of the head for some sweet dreams. Good. From here, let your hands come down. Notice how your ears, your scalp, your skull is feeling. And then right at the base where the top of the neck meets the base of the skull, just a little gentle massage right at the brainstem, right at the cerebellum, because sometimes that brainstem is just overactivated and inhibits us from having a good sleep. So imagine you're just massaging the base of the brain and the top of the spinal column, and take a couple of breaths right here. Good, and when you're ready now, you might just roll yourself onto your back, coming down into a lying position. This would be a good time to place your sandbag or your rice bag over your belly. This might be a nice time to place the blanket over your body. This might be a nice time to place your eye pillow over your eyes. Connecting with each part of your body that makes contact with the earth, the greater earth body, remembering that that is also you. We are not any different from the environment. We are nature. Coming back home into gravity, feeling your feet and your legs, feeling your pelvis and your hips. Coming into your belly, maybe that sandbag or rice bag or bag of lentils, and we're going to make an O sound right at the level of the belly. Oh. Coming up the spine, the rib cage, softening all the organs in your body, letting them start to fall asleep too. Into the lungs, and the heart, shoulders, down the arms, and into the hands. And from the center of the chest, we're going to hum again that M sound. Releasing the tops of the shoulders, the back of the neck, the throat, the back of the tongue. Releasing even the cheeks and the jaw. Releasing your right eye, your left eye, and your ears, the amygdala, the hypothalamic structure. Even releasing the scalp, the brow, the head, feel the back of the head connect, and we'll do a sigh here, a final sigh. Begin to let everything go. Let thoughts soften, sink into relaxation, rest, and resilience. Thank you for coming on this journey with me today, staying just as you are. I hope this leads you into some of the sweetest sleep. The deepest, most healing moments are when we are resting softly and comfortably. I hope you have peace within and that you can offer yourself compassion and kindness in those moments when sleep seems a little far away from us, knowing that at another point in time, it will return and find us again. From my heart to yours, with the deepest gratitude from 2022, thank you so, so much. And I hope to see you again soon in some format, either online or in person. And once again, I'm Stacey Madden at Mindful Somatic Wellness. Thank you.